My name is Tyson Rinehart.
Sweet. I guess it's going to be a little awkward.
Sorry.
So, well, let's go over the basic questions first. How did you get into anime, and how did you get started in the industry?
I got into anime. I saw Akira when I was 13, something like that. And I saw that animation could tell stories beyond anvils falling on people, and it really revolutionized the way I thought of storytelling, and I got very much into it. I'm a big Rumiko Takahashi fan, so Ranma 1/2 Maison Koku, etc. And I got into voice work. I've been acting since I was 11, and I went to college for it and studied fine arts, specifically acting. And I'm actually like Shakespearean trained.
Oh, okay.
But I was doing Midsummer Night's Dream with Ian Sinclair, who you may know as the voice of Toriko, among several others. And we had a really good time working together, and he ended up directing Black Butler, and he called me in to just do a couple small roles. He knew I could do dialects, and so he called me in as a Irish thief villain in an episode, and he thought that my dialect was better than some of the other ones that were available, so I got bumped up to the head of the Irish thieves and doubled my line count there, which was pretty cool. But yeah. It's really, the funny thing is that was the third Funimation actor that I'd done a show with, and the third time I'd actually been called out to audition and work at Funimation. I had done a show with Eric Vale about a year and a half before that, and then a year before that I did a show with Sonny Strait. So I kept going out to the old Funimation offices and auditioning and not having any idea of what I was doing. And then working with Ian, who I was good friends with, he kind of helped walk me through it and help find my fit. And
got you find your voice for your character.
Exactly. And really, like reaction, those kind of voice work in the shows are something that doesn't necessarily come naturally. To make a false getting punched noise. I'm not actually getting hurt here, but I have to make the noise and make it sound realistic when I'm getting hit. And so he kind of worked through me with that on the reactions and everything to help solidify that. And I've just been doing stuff ever since. So
sounds like a good way to get into it.
Yeah.
My sidecar question to that was if you were doing theater, the traditional, you said Shakespearean. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of where you were started, like where you got your training and all that type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. We did a little school play in 5th grade, and it was The Emperor's New Clothes. I was one of the tailors. And
who was the naked person?
I don't actually remember the kid's name. It was 20 years ago. So I had a lot of fun with it. We did a couple productions of it, and then we ended up extending the run of it because we went to one of the elementary schools to perform for them. And I had a lot of fun with it and realized that was something I really wanted to do.
Okay. So I guess show-specific question we had was continuing Black Butler. Are you doing more of that, or?
I have done several voices in the first run of Black Butler, where Sebastian is the butler.
Gotcha.
And I did a few voices in the second run of Black Butler, where I can't remember the name of the butler in that one, but he's a different fellow. But yeah, exactly. It's well, that's the funny thing is I look at my credits on like A&N, and there's all these shows I have no recollection of working on whatsoever. Like apparently I'm in Cat Planet Cuties. I didn't know that, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. You'll go in to do like work on Fairy Tale or something. You go in to be the bad guy who's getting smacked around, and you're there for 2 hours, but you end up getting done in an hour and a half. And so then that last half hour, you're already getting paid, so they kind of send you to some of the other studios, be like, hey, do you need him to do 1 or 2 lines? Hey, do you need him to do 1 or 2 lines? And so I have a feeling that's probably where Cat Planet Cuties worked its way into my schedule. It's just kind of like, well, pop it in, hey, you need me? Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, cool. See you guys later.
Just in and out.
Yeah, very much so.
In roles. Let's see, I guess he was curious about the Dead Man Wonderland role that you played.
Yes. I was the fugitive who held the young lady at knife point while trying to get the candy so that he didn't die. And that was a lot of fun. Joel McDonald directed that, and had a lot of fun with it. Went through it once, and he was like, "That was good. Let's do it again like you're gonna die." And I was like, "Oh right, of course, I forgot that. Yes, absolutely, let's try that." And so then that's what is on the final, is me slowly losing my life force as I threaten someone else's. So it was a lot of fun.
It sounds like it was. If you could have any role out there, whether in anime, American animation, or theater, which character or which play or setting?
These questions are always hard because A, there's 1,000, and B, to say that I want to do that role might take away from the person who did it. And in like Coda from High School of the Dead is a role I feel I would do really well with, but the guy who did it was awesome. So I feel that would be like a crime against humanity to like go and be like, I could do that.
Like doing a cover and it just
exactly
living up to
it's doing a cover but not adding anything to it and actually kind of detracting from the original material somewhat. It's just I don't know the actor's name who did it, but he nailed the role, and I was like mildly jealous but very, very impressed at the same time. I was like, man, you're really good at being the nerdy guy. I could. Okay, fine. There could be more than one of us who do nerdy guys.
So, among all the works you've done, have you sat down and watched any of the shows with your voice in it, and did you enjoy any of them?
Yeah, I've seen the majority of Black Butler. I watched the episode that I was featured in, and that was one of the first large, speaking roles that I had, and it's always awkward to hear your own voice because the way your skull vibrates when you're talking gives you a different impression of what your voice sounds like than what everyone else hears.
It's that look in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. And so, in my head, when my skull's vibrating while I speak, I have a much deeper voice. I sound really cool. And then I hear it back on recording, and I'm like, really? That's me? But Steins Gate. Steins Gate is my quote-unquote breakout role. I was Daru in it, and that show was just absolutely genius. Like, if I had nothing to do with it, it would still be one of my favorite shows.
Did you play the game?
I did not. I've seen a few copies of it available at some dealers' rooms, and it's almost always over $50.
I think they're actually starting a translation.
Yes, I wrote about that. I think it's going to be for Xbox entirely. Was it the first one, the original 360 or
PC?
It was PC?
Yes.
Original. Yeah.
So, but they're working on a bunch of options for it. But I guess we can transition again. So you're starting to get into writing and directing as well?
I'm not directing yet. I'm just writing right now.
Just kind of writing script adaptations?
Yeah, script adaptations, yeah.
Okay. Anything recent or new? Or
I'm not at liberty to speak about the titles yet, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Yeah. Needless to say, they're both. I'm very good with sci-fi.
Okay.
Like, I love sci-fi. I'm a big Star Wars fan and also a Star Trek fan, so I'm constantly at battle with myself. But yeah, I felt very comfortable with things like that. Bless you. And so that's some of the stuff I've been doing, action, adventure, sci-fi, with some comedy influence. I'm very good at writing your average dude kind of stuff. So slang and just casual talk is kind of my forte so far. And I've been working with Michael Tatum. He's my lead writer, so he'll write, and then I'll write an episode, send it in to him. He'll give me critiques and comments and everything, and I'll go back. And he is a very witty, very verbose individual, and he writes absolutely mellifluous poetry. And I write stuff like, "Hey, get out of my face, turd breath," and it has its place, as long as that's not every character. I find the right person for it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. You have to try to be honest to the source material. You want to convey the information and the emotions that are being put on display. But at the same time, there's just some things that don't fully translate. For instance, a lot of humor in anime is based on puns, and if you don't speak the language, then a pun means nothing.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with homophones and how this word sounds like this word, and I'm playing off the meaning of that. And so if you're doing that in the original language and you try to translate it directly, it's just not going to land. The joke's not going to make sense. So there's a lot of times where that happens, and you kind of just have to write a new funny thing in there and make it match all the little mouth movements and everything like that. So that it gives you a certain level of creative freedom while you're still, I don't want to say constrained because that sounds negative. I really like working with the framework that has been set by the Japanese originally, because the original cast and the original script is always, you know, really fantastic. It's apropos to everything that they're doing, and you just have to find a way to make it translate with equal value to an audience that doesn't necessarily understand Shintoism and other factors like that of Japanese life. But yeah, I've been a fan of anime since I was 13, and so I've learned about Shintoism to an extent and random Sakura festivals, and you know, I know some stuff more than the average bear.
The culture and
exactly. And I actually, in college, one of my best friends was a Japanese foreign exchange student, and so we bonded over the fact that I was an otaku and all that. So it was really ideal. But again, there's a lot of people who just they like the adventure, they like the story, they like the animation, but they don't know a lot about the culture. So you want to make it not exclusionary to those people either. Like, you want to make it accessible to pretty much everyone who's going to pop the DVD in and watch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've seen the shows, and some shows actually try to explain with like a paragraph that pops up on the screen.
Yeah. That will. And the problem is that, you know, you'll have the kanji there, and it's there for 2 seconds, but then you'll have the giant, you know, text overlaid on top of that you have to pause to read to fully understand what's going on in that thing that is only a couple seconds long. And so that's always interesting, and you kind of want to have an economy of words when it comes to that, so that you don't have 8 paragraphs long trying to explain this one billboard, you know, that is a very, very minute part of the show.
Gotcha. So, of shows that are kind of going on, maybe let's say in the last year, 2 years, I mean, are there any standouts in there that you rather enjoyed?
I did Eureka 7 AO. I was the artificial intelligence on board their craft, and it was very much fun to do that because I married, in my mind, when I did the voice for it, I married C-3PO and the movie phone guy.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. I may be dating myself severely at that point.
Oh, he's good then.
Right on. So yeah, it was really enjoyable to say the lines, you know, about, oh, shields are down to 3%, you know, something that's really intense, but saying it really happy, you know, like, you know, just the fact that the artificial intelligence can't comprehend that is not something to be jolly about, you know, like he's programmed to always be friendly and courteous and, you know, amicable, and it doesn't really apply when your ship is crashing and about to explode. So that was a lot of fun to juxtapose the delivery of that with the actual situation it's occurring in. And then the rest of the time, the character blabs on and on and on about the history of the mountain that they're flying towards until somebody slams the console to shut him up, because he drones on and on and on. And then I also did the role of Oimo in One Piece, one of the giants in the Enies Lobby arc who protects the gate from the Straw Hat Pirates, only to later then, of course, join the Straw Hat Pirates because he realizes he's been duped. And he's a big, stupid giant. And if anyone's seen the movie Caddyshack, then Bill Murray's character was very much an influence on the giant. And then because I'm not 60, 70 feet tall, they went ahead and pitch modulated my voice slightly to make me sound like my chest cavity was as big as the room. So that plus that made for a really giant, stupid, fun character to play. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, the question was, I guess, shows that you're watching but not necessarily in.
Okay, yeah, right on. Attack on Titan, I've been watching the simulcast of that, and I kind of pee my pants a little bit every time because it's awesome and scary. Probably overshared just then, but it's all right. We're friends here.
We're all waiting on the next episode.
Yeah, we're all waiting on the next episode. It's like, who's gonna go next? I can't handle this. Let's see. There's Space Dandy. Space Dandy's coming out. It's from I believe Nabashine's doing it.
Oh, okay.
And so that alone excites me because Nabashine is just fantastic. He is one of the most impressive individuals in the industry, in my opinion. I saw XL Saga years and years and years ago, and I was like, what is going on? This is awesome. In the first episode, they break the fourth wall like 8 times. The main character dies over and over and over again, only to have it all restarted. That is just, like I said, I'm a theater major, and so like that is what I refer to as theater of cruelty. Like there was a movement of theater that is still slightly done. There's a group in Chicago called the Neo-Futurists that do little short plays, and in the theater that they perform in, they have a big jail cell, like in the cinder back area. And some people who got their tickets late or bought standing room only or something like that get funneled into the giant jail cell, and then everybody like makes fun of them and everything during the show. And it's not what you expect when you go out to the theater. You expect to go sit down for an hour and a half, watch some people talk, and then you go home. And that is not the case there at all. With them, they have the people in the jail cell, they'll order pizza for everybody, and then make all the people in the seats pay for it, and then give it all to the people in the jail cell. So it's just constantly like challenging your concept of what is normal, what is appropriate, and that's exactly what I feel XL Saga did in a very, very funny way. And yeah, I got really amped by Nabashine. So anything he works on, I'm always ear to the ground. I want to know.
Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's definitely got an interesting style, and his flair comes through with everything visually.
And the fact that he pulls giant machine guns out of his afro by like the 3rd episode, that right there, I was like, okay, you put me on for the rest of the ride. I'm here for it the entire time. I was already on board, but now I'm like signing up. Like I am for this entirely. So yeah, pretty much anything Nabashine's involved in,